Bum, 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 bum. Hey, everybody. Come on in here. If you get in here in time, you'll be here for the exciting part where I personally punish the Russians involved with trying to influence our election. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, what good does it do to have, to have indictments for Russian citizens? Sure, Mueller can indict them, but what good is it going to do? They're way over there. They're not going to come over here. And so I thought, hey, you know what? I'll take care of it myself. I'll just take care of this. So now that we've got 1,000 people, without further ado, I would like to personally punish all of the Russians involved with the Russian troll farm that allegedly tried to influence the election. And here it goes. Hey, Vladimir Putin, I know you're listening. I know you follow my periscopes. So Vladimir, about your troll farm, did you see the work they produced? Now, I'm no master of spycraft, but I know you are, Vladimir. And did you see the work that was done by your crack team of troll farmers? Did you see what they did? Because I've seen the memes. Ask somebody. Trust me. Just say, send them to my phone. Check out their work. Because I'm pretty sure you paid for that. And you know what? The entire United States is laughing at it. It's actually been pronounced literally useless and hilarious. The guys that you sent to mess with the U.S. election, they just made you look like sort of a loser. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the one to break it to you, but I think you know their names. If you missed it, there's 13 of them. They've been indicted recently. They're probably on a list. You might want to pay them attention, pay them a little visit, have some of your people stop by, and maybe ask them to do a better job next time. In whatever gentle way you do that. May or may not involve polonium. I don't know. Sometimes it does. But Vladimir, you take care of it. I trust you to handle these 13 Russians. Our indictments can't reach them. But once you see the quality of their work, I'm pretty sure you're going to want to have a word with them. All right. Somebody said they thought the work was pretty good. I'm talking about the memes. Did you see the memes? The memes were hilariously bad. So President Trump has, as we might imagine, claimed total vindication and no collusion. The funniest thing I saw over this was Representative Swalwell, who was interviewed about the indictments of the 13 Russians. And he says to the president during the interview, as if the president's watching, he says, now do you believe it? Now do you believe that they interfered with the election? And I'm thinking to myself, that wasn't the question. I don't think the question, at least today, or more recently, has been whether or not they tried. I thought that was already settled. And Swalwell makes it look as though that was the whole point of it, somehow trying to convince the president that the Russians had been trying to do something. No, I'm pretty sure there was something about collusion in there that was the original point of all this. Oh, so when you said the work was pretty good, it was sarcasm. Thank you. You may stay. Yeah, so let me look at CNN's page. So the top headline on CNN's homepage, listen to this, is "It's now impossible for Trump to call the Russia investigation a, quote, total hoax." Excuse me, but I don't believe that the president was referring to this part as the hoax. I'm pretty sure he was specifically talking about the collusion part of the hoax. So CNN is trying to spin this as some kind of bad thing for the president, which is hilarious. I mean, that's pretty much out of ammo, throw the gun. So here's the weird thing. A few weird things. One is that the FBI tries to investigate Russia trying to influence the election and finds out that the FBI was trying to influence the election. Okay, that's great. I mean, if you're going to write a movie or a book, the FBI tries to find out if the Russians influenced the election, and it turns out the FBI was trying to influence the election, maybe in a different way. We don't know. Now, it's probably too early. Yeah, it's probably too early, so I'm going to do it anyway. It seems to me that a year ago, if you said, give me your opinion about the FBI, people would have said, great institution, professionals all the way. But then we heard the problems with the emails and the agent Strzok and all that, and they got reassigned. So we know there was something inappropriate going on, or they wouldn't have been reassigned. And so then we said, well, the rank and file of the FBI is great. They do great work, but there are a few bad apples up there. We don't know exactly which ones, but it looks like there are a few bad apples. And then this school shooting happens. And we find out that the FBI dropped the ball and admits it. I have to give them credit. I'll give them total credit for, quickly and clearly admitting failure. That's actually pretty credible, I have to say. But at the very worst time that the FBI needed a punch in the nose, it turns out that they get, yet another incredibly, bad performance review. I'm just looking at your comments. Oh, so here's the other thing that's funny. So now that we know specifically which, this is the funniest thing about the whole Russia situation. Now we know exactly which rallies the Russians organized. How would you like to be one of the people who showed up to a Russia-organized rally? And you thought to yourself, I love this grassroots organizing. I'm hitting the streets. And the Russians are over there watching the news and thinking, look at what we made these idiots do. Look at those signs. If you remember during the election, there were protests against President Trump in which there were a lot of probably immigrants or maybe second generation who were carrying Mexican flags. And I said to myself at the time, okay, there's something wrong with that. They're protesting the American president by carrying Mexican flags in America. It feels like somebody is behind all this, who's just running this tremendous hoax. Well, now here's the other thing. Now that we know that all you need to do to get idiots to go protest something is to pretend that you're on their team and organize a protest. How many people are going to be seeing if they can organize protests for other people about things they don't care about? Like, I'm going to declare a protest in Philadelphia tomorrow. I'm going to see how many people I can get to show up. The women's... Well, you never know. You never know which marches they were behind. All right, I'm going to go do something else, but I had to come in and share some Russia thoughts.